Bardock was having visions of his son battling Frieza, as Bardock was just cursed by one of the aliens, as we know, who gave Bardock the foresight ability. Bardock would have then met up with Gine, and they would have sent their son off. The original course was heading towards Earth. As Goku was sent off, Bardock would then go battle Frieza on his own. Of course, with Bardock's power, it was not enough, but he was meant to distract Frieza, as he knew he could not have won. Bardock fired everything he had, hitting the supernova, but it would be overpowered and Bardock would have perished alongside with Planet Vegeta, only leaving a handful of Saiyans left alive. While Goku was traveling, a strange portal has opened. Now, realistically, it would be impossible for Goku to actually get to Zeno's world. Realistically, normally, you would need a Kai or an angel to get there. But we're going to say that a portal opened, once in a lifetime opportunity of what if plot, and Goku would land right outside of Zeno's home. Now, of course, the guards and the Grand Priest immediately went there to see what that was, as this was out of the ordinary, and they would then see a space pod. Zeno would then fly out as he was very curious. It would then open, showing Goku, who was crying and upset. The Grand Priest was surprised. He was never thought that a mortal could be here. That's a Saiyan. But he doesn't know from where. And after some digging, he finds out that a portal opened from Universe 7. That hasn't happened in a long time. He then looks to Zeno. Did you do this? And Zeno explains, yeah, I saw the future. Remember, Zeno can see the future, past, and present. It was shown during the Tourney of Power that he already knew what was going to happen, and if it did not go his way, he would have destroyed all the 12 universes when 17 made his wish. So Zeno knew the future predicaments and what was going to happen. As it makes sense, he's an omnipotent being. It's not too far-fetched that he could see the future. So, I think Zeno knew that Goku would become his best friend, and I think Zeno wanted Goku to come visit him earlier. Zeno can have a much closer friend, as that's all Zeno wanted. He was really bored. Goku was the only one who actually treated him kind of normally, and was not all scared of him all the time. He was actually able to play with Goku. So, he decided to open up a little portal and send Goku here. But the Grand Priest was against this, of course respecting Zeno's wishes. He does kind of console with Zeno, stating, well, we're not allowed to have mortals here. That goes against all the laws that we've made. The Grand Priest thinks, as he doesn't want to anger Zeno. Zeno can erase him pretty easily if he wishes. He has an idea. He says, how about this, Grand Zeno? How about we send him back on his original course, but I give you my word that I will go and train him and bring him here so you can play with him and have fun. How does that sound? Zeno thinks that's a great idea, and Zeno tells him that he'll keep an eye because he wants Goku to come here a lot so he can train. And he also wants Goku to get strong. He sees how strong Goku can become, and I think that'll be a pretty good reason for Goku to come here. And the Grand Priest is actually quite interested. He asks Zeno, what do you see in this Saiyan, if I may ask, my lord? Zeno explains that Goku was one of the only mortals to unlock Ultra Instinct, and he's so powerful. This would actually intrigue the Grand Priest, so he's actually inclined to train Goku. So, for him to have mortal values, and it's also too dangerous to have him here, they decide to send him through a course of Earth. But under Zeno's orders, the Grand Priest will protect him if he needs to. Though originally gods are not allowed to meddle in mortal affairs, Zeno's orders are final. Unless Goku was in a near-death situation, the Grand Priest will save him if he needs to. And if Goku ever dies, the Grand Priest can just bring him back to life under Zeno's orders. As if Whis can do something like that, his father, the Grand Priest of all angels, he definitely can. So, the Grand Priest would then send the ship right back towards Earth, just like before. And Goku would arrive around the same time, since time is a little bit different in Zeno's world. And it doesn't really matter anyway, the Grand Priest should bring him right to the original spot where Zeno said so. So, Goku would have still met Grandpa Gohan, the same events would have happened, where I think Goku still would have fell and hit his head. As Zeno already knew this was going to happen, he's not worried about that, as he knew that Goku was going to survive and have no problems. Now, Goku would of course be training under Grandpa Gohan. Now, of course, as we know, a couple of years later, Goku would unfortunately turn into a Great Ape, and this would then cause him to kill Grandpa Gohan. Thus, Goku would be living on his own for the next few years, until Bulma, who was on her summer vacation, would begin searching for the Dragon Balls. She would meet Goku, and she would discover that the sphere he owns is actually the 4-star Dragon Ball, and she would offer Goku to come along with her as sort of like a bodyguard. Now, by this time, the Grand Priest has come by a few times during the couple of years, as when Goku was all alone, Zeno wanted to play. So I think this is when the Grand Priest would introduce himself and bring Goku. And I think Goku would very quickly get along with the Grand Priest, as it's Goku, and he's very childish like the Grand Priest, and like Zeno really is. And I think Goku would become best friends, and they would have a lot of fun messing around. And the Grand Priest would also explain that he's also going to begin training him, as his power level is very low and he's very weak, but he will begin small trainings, teaching Goku here and there, and I think over the next few years, Goku would grow a lot stronger because he's being trained. But it's more baby steps for now. The Grand Priest wants to wait until he's a little bit older to begin his real training. I would say roughly when he's a little bit older, around 16 to 18 years old, when he becomes a full-grown adult, then I think that's when the Grand Priest will start taking his training more seriously. The Grand Priest does have an interest in Goku, as Goku just has that energy around him to make people interested in him and to just kind of draw people around him. But that's one of his perks of being the main character. And I think Zeno really wants the Grand Priest to make Goku super strong because that's fun for Zeno. Goku can fight a lot of strong people, and Goku wants to get stronger. So by the time that I think Goku would have met Bulma, I think his power level would roughly be about 200, which sounds like a lot for Dragon Ball, but in reality, he's being trained by the Grand Priest, not intensely, but small things. And even small things is a massive power-up. So Goku is getting much stronger, and you'll definitely see later on, when training gets really serious, how strong Goku's going to become in this timeline. Now, Goku would have still met Master Roshi after they found the turtle giving him water. Now, since Goku is so much stronger, Roshi would sense his power level and note how strong Goku actually is, far surpassing even him. Now, Goku is still compassionate and nice, as he's not Kakarot or anything. Goku would have still gotten the 3-star Dragon Ball and the Flying Nimbus from Roshi, as this is a reward for bringing the turtle back and giving it water. Now, Goku would still stop the reign of the terrible Oolong, and the old woman would still give Bulma and him the 6-star Dragon Ball. Now, this timeline, they would have still met Yamcha and Puar, but I think this time around, even though Goku was sick and tired and really hungry, I don't think Yamcha would have been able to beat him. I think Goku would have overpowered Yamcha. It would be a little bit tougher because his power level was cut in half, so he's about 100. That's still way stronger than Yamcha, so Goku would have won. But Yamcha and Puar would have still secretly followed them along on their quest. Now, originally, Master Roshi did use the Kamehameha to put out the flames in the Frying Pan Mountain. And you could say that this pretty much goes the same. Or you could say that Goku would even destroy with the Ki Blast. But either way, among the debris, they would have found the 7-star Dragon Ball. Goku would have still overpowered the Boss Rabbit gang, sending them to the moon, and Mai and Shu would still sneak and steal the Dragon Balls from Goku and the gang. But when Goku was trapped, this timeline, Goku would be able to escape, as he didn't need to turn into a Great Ape. And if he did turn into a Great Ape, then Lord have mercy, he would destroy everybody. His power level is 2,000. And I think either way, it would have really kind of went similar. So you could have Goku turning into a Great Ape destroying the castle, or in my opinion, I think he would have broken out himself, not needing to look at the moon. So I think that Oolong would still make the wish beforehand, so Oolong still made his dirty wish, so he still got girls' underwear. Goku would have still broken out by himself, and that would have pretty much happened the same. Now, a couple days later, Goku and Krillin will become Master Roshi's students. Now, of course, Goku being much stronger than Roshi, Roshi can't contend with him, I guess, combat-wise, and even beings like Krillin cannot keep up with Goku at all. As they did find Launch as well, as Launch is the crazy girl with a split personality disorder. I think that Roshi would do more of teaching Goku wisdom and teaching him to train right, which Goku's already learning this from the Grand Priest. Now, the Grand Priest doesn't want to make himself known among mortals. Remember, they have to keep it pretty much hidden. So whenever Goku's by himself, the Grand Priest might go to him. Now, Goku could also have a version of a Zeno button that Zeno could give him. I wouldn't think it's a smart idea to have it to where Zeno could teleport to him. I think it would be better if the Grand Priest had it to where Goku can go to Zeno instantly in case something really bad happens. And only Goku can use this, no one else can. That would be kind of busted if his villains to go there. They would just get erased. Now, Goku's training under Master Roshi was actually pretty easy. The 7 months of training was really easy for Goku. Because he was so much stronger, Roshi just had to find some other ways to get Goku to train. But it does work. Goku does get stronger, and he gets much more skilled in martial arts. I think his power level would definitely jump up to about 250 to 300, from around 200 originally when he met Bulma. Now, of course, they would continue training, and this is when the Red Ribbon Army would start to begin their search for the Dragon Balls, as this was before the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. As when Goku, Krillin, and Master Roshi go there, Goku would absolutely annihilate everybody in his way. Master Roshi cannot beat Goku. There's no chance. So Goku would not look at the moon, and he would not turn into a Great Ape. If he did, then no one could stop him. The only way they could stop him is if Roshi destroys the moon. So if Goku did turn into a Great Ape, Roshi would just blow up the moon. So it's up and up what either happens. So this timeline, Goku would win. And Goku would just use all the money to begin eating away all the funding within one night, as he had a big feast, like the original. Now, Goku and the Red Ribbon Army would begin their search for the Dragon Balls. Now, remember the Red Ribbon Army obtained the 6-star and 5-star Dragon Balls. Goku would have also deleted Colonial Silver, and he would have ended up in Jungle Village. And he would take down the Muscle Tower. Now, the difference here is because since Goku is so absurdly strong, the Red Ribbon Army has no chance. They cannot beat Goku the way he is. Goku is just way too powerful. So what are they going to do against him? Goku's pretty much the same strength, if not way stronger than even Demon King Piccolo. How are they going to stop him? So Goku would easily overpower the Red Ribbon Army, and he would easily defeat Mercenary Tao, and also General Blue. And that's pretty much it, as Goku would still climb Korn's tower and train under him, and Goku was not rushed to drink the Ultra Divine Water, which was actually tap water originally. Korn just tricked Goku. I think Goku would actually take the real water from Krillin. So over the next 3 to 4 days, Korn sees how strong Goku is. Goku takes the real water, and I think he would still survive because he's still pure-hearted. And this would bump his power up pretty decently. I would say it's about 300. It'll bump it up to me about 400. So Goku's already the strongest character in Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. But Goku would pretty much easily overpower the Red Ribbon Army and defeat them all. They would have no chance. And Goku would still meet Tien Shenhan for the first time. And Goku would still go to Papa Island for the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament. And unfortunately for Tien, whatever he does against Goku, Goku would easily win. Goku is way too strong for Tien. Whatever technique that Tien uses, Goku was just too strong. So Goku would have defeated him. I think Krillin would still be killed by Tambourine because Goku wasn't prepared for all that appearing, and Demon King Piccolo would still appears. Now, this is when Goku would meet Yajirobe, and he would probably one-shot Tambourine because he's way stronger. Now, when he does cross path with Demon King Piccolo would get absolutely annihilated, easily defeated. And I think Goku would probably one-shot him out of anger. He could probably fly right through him like he did the original, as he was pure rage because his friend Krillin died, and it was his fault. This is when I think Demon King Piccolo would still spit out an egg, even though Piccolo Jr. would be a little bit weaker, but he has more motivation because he knows how strong Goku is, so his power level will be the same, just to clarify early on. Now, after this is when I think Goku and Yajirobe would then climb up to Korn's tower, and Goku would continue his training, growing stronger. And I think by this point, Goku wants to get as strong as possible. What I mean is I think that Goku would probably stay at Korn's tower, then he would go up to Kami and Popo. But I think Goku's already learning stuff from the Grand Priest way ahead of Kami and Popo, like to control his energy. Goku could probably fly at this point, so that would all go the same, but Goku would finish his training much faster, probably within a couple of months. And I think by this point, Goku would probably press the button and go to Zeno's world to play with Zeno and hang out, but I think he would ask the Grand Priest that he wants to take his training seriously. And the next World Martial Arts Tournament is happening in the next 2.5 years, and I want to grow as strong as possible. Can you please help me? And the Grand Priest would smile and say, okay, it's time to take your training to the next level. So the next 2.5 years was pure hell for Goku. Goku was not learning how to use God Ki yet. I'm just going to clarify that. Not yet, but he is getting there. And holy mother of Lord, as Goku has gotten much stronger, growing massively in strength. Now, for the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku would then travel there and meet up with all his friends, as Goku looks pretty much the same. But this time around, Goku would actually have a different set of garments. He would actually have his original clothing. As you know, before he kind of had that like weird clothing with a bandana thing on his head. It would actually be different. Goku would even potentially have his outfit, but with the Grand Priest symbol, as Whis did a similar symbol on Goku and Vegeta to mark that they're his students. But Goku would have the Grand Priest symbol, and Roshi never seen that before. Goku states, "Oh, it's just my master, and don't worry, I'm ready to really fight." Goku knows that Demon King Piccolo, or Piccolo Jr., when he finds out, was there. Piccolo Jr. has no chance against Goku. Goku would still meet Chi-Chi, and I think they would still get married, as Goku would have still met Chi-Chi when he was younger, so that would pretty much do the same. Now, the one difference here is with Piccolo Jr. Now, with Piccolo, he would have no chance against Goku. Even though his power level would be roughly the same, you could even say a little bit weaker, maybe 10 to 20 weaker, it doesn't matter. Goku is way too powerful for him. He would have defeated him, but spared his life, because he knows that if Piccolo dies, then Kami dies as well, vice versa. And that means that there's no Dragon Balls. Now, Goku would have learned about the Super Dragon Balls by this point, but he knows that he doesn't have access to those. Those are for gods only, and for Grand Priest to use. So, yeah. Long story short, Goku is absurdly powerful. And I think for the next 5 years, Goku would continue training, and he even stated himself that he didn't really take training all that seriously because of Gohan, and he was spending time with Chi-Chi, but I think that the Grand Priest is a bit more strict than that. I think the Grand Priest wants to honor Zeno's wishes and have Goku come by at least a couple times a year, and I think Chi-Chi would not like that, but I think Goku would not really have a choice. And Goku would explain how powerful Zeno is and the Grand Priest. If he doesn't, they could wipe out all the 12 universes and even theirs instantly. I think that would scare Chi-Chi, but Goku explains, no, they're fine as long as he comes by every now and again, plays with Zeno and hangs out for like a day or two, and he's fine. So I think Goku would spend a couple of weeks, at least a couple times a month, at least going there to train with the Grand Priest. So Goku was keeping up his training, and he is growing much stronger as time passes by. Massively stronger. By this point, Goku would still take Gohan and go to Master Roshi's home, and they would then meet Raditz. Raditz would have still showed up after looking for Goku. He would have still sensed the power level, and he would have tapped his scouter, and it would have read 1,000 because Goku's suppressed, and Raditz would be impressed by it. He would have went over there meeting up with Goku. He was angry the fact that Goku, of course, was lacking on his training, and he was weak, and why is his planet still here? Where's his tail? As Goku's tail would have been removed by this point, probably by Kami, because of how dangerous it is. They saw Goku turn into the Great Ape, and Roshi had to destroy the moon. So either way, Kami would have removed his tail. So Goku does not have his tail. Sorry, no Super Saiyan 4. But I think that Raditz would be furious, but I think that it doesn't matter. Because if Raditz tries taking Gohan or hurting anybody, Goku would have one-shot him. Goku is so strong here that it's kind of ridiculous. I think Goku would humor Raditz and he would go off to go fight him. And Raditz is a bit of a coward though. Raditz knows that he can't beat Goku. And since he did try taking Goku's son and harming his friends, Goku would tell Raditz to leave this planet and to never come back. So I think Raditz would then bolt for it and get out of there as he was pretty badly wounded. Now, once when Raditz does meet up with Vegeta and Nappa, Vegeta and Nappa promised him something and Raditz forgot about it. That if he comes back empty-handed once again, they were going to kill him. This is when I think Vegeta would give him the Nappa treatment, throwing him in the air and killing him. I know some Raditz fans are upset about that, but that makes the most sense, as why would Goku spare Raditz even though Raditz tried killing his son and killing all his friends? Yes, I know that Goku's done that for some of his enemies, like Vegeta and all that, but realistically, I think he would have told Raditz to run. And Raditz is not a coward, so he wouldn't have really stayed. He would have ran away, and Raditz would have forgotten about what Vegeta told him. And even if Raditz didn't, Raditz would have went into hiding, running away, but even then, Frieza would have probably sent men out to find him. He's not safe anywhere. He would have been killed. So either Raditz would have sucked it up and stayed, but I don't think he would have. I think he's too cowardly. He would run away. By this point, Vegeta and Nappa would find interest. He beat Raditz that easily. This might be a little bit interesting. Maybe we can go try and recruit him. And if he doesn't, we can take the planet like how he should have done anyway. So they decide to go there. Since Piccolo never talked about the Dragon Balls, that means that Frieza would have actually never gone to Namek. So Frieza's not going there, destroying Namek, and Vegeta and Nappa do have different motives for going to Earth, but it's not because of the Dragon Balls. Now, since this happens, would Goku go to King Kai? No. Why would he need to? As he wouldn't have asked Kami to find another trainer, nor did he die and go to the other world. So Goku would not know about the Spirit Bomb, nor would he know about the Kaioken technique. Now Goku would just go train at the Grand Priest. Goku would press the button and go there. I think by this point, the rest of the other Z fighters would still go to Korin's tower, and of course Kami and Popo to be trained, as Piccolo would then take Gohan and begin training him pretty much the exact same, beginning his survival training. And I think by this point, we would then have Goku going to the Grand Priest, and while I think that Goku is way more than strong enough to handle, let's just say that Goku is probably stronger than Frieza by this point. And does that really seem that far-fetched? The Grand Priest? Now, I think that Goku by this point would be telling the Grand Priest that he needs to train and get stronger, and they have about a year. So the Grand Priest would accept and he would continue training Goku for 1 year straight. So Goku has a whole year with the Grand Priest straight and to play with Zeno. And Goku has grown massively in strength. Now Grand Priest is starting to get the hang of teaching Goku God Ki, and I think Goku's starting to pick up on how to use it. And I think Goku does get the hang of it. Remember, it took Goku and Vegeta, and mainly Vegeta, who was a prodigy, it took him a couple of months to actually figure it out, and I would say probably at least a year or two to figure out how to use God Ki. Goku's been training with the Grand Priest for years, so I think he would be able to figure out how to use God Ki on his own. This does mean that since Goku does have God Ki, Goku can also use Super Saiyan God. Since he's immortal, to use God Ki, he needs to tap into it. And this is a marvelous transformation that Goku never thought that even it was possible. He never thought he could have power like this. Goku's power level is absolutely absurd by this point, so I think he's more than prepared to fight Vegeta and Nappa. Now, once when he does arrive back on Earth, he does arrive on time. Now, this means that none of the Z fighters have died yet. Yamcha, Tien, Piccolo, Chaozu, none of them have died yet because of the Cybermen or anything. It's because Goku arrived on time with his friends. He can press the button and go right back there. So Goku was more than prepared now, and he was in the Grand Priest's clothing, as that was his training outfit, and he would ask the Grand Priest if he can wear his original G. And the Grand Priest says, fine, but you will have my symbol, as you are my student. He would then give him a symbol on his back, as this Goku's trademark symbol, but it's with the Grand Priest symbol on it, marking for the Grand Priest. And Zeno would tell Goku he'll be watching on his tablet through GodTube, so be ready. He's excited to see it. Goku would then travel back, and once when he arrives, he'll tell the rest of his friends that he'll handle Vegeta and Nappa on his own. As the Cybermen, would they be planted? I don't think so, because even if so, they wouldn't be able to defeat Goku. You could even say for fun that Nappa plants them all and goes to jump Goku, and I think Goku would give them the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan to Cell Jr. treatment. He would just chop them in half and one-shot them all. Even if one tries grabbing onto him and exploding, it wouldn't have mattered. Goku would be unscathed. And if they tried throwing acid, it wouldn't even burn him. Goku's just too strong. So Goku would have defeated them all in a single second. Shocking Nappa and Vegeta that he defeated 5 of them who were as strong as Raditz that quickly. Now, Goku here would then challenge Vegeta and Nappa, but give them one chance to get off this planet and to not return. They're not going to listen, of course, as they try scanning his power level. Goku was holding back, but his power level was still at around 10,000, shocking Vegeta and Nappa. Now, Nappa would try to attack Goku, but we all know what happens. Goku would have led them far away from this, as now they're in the rocky wasteland as Nappa tries attacking him, firing a massive mouth beam. Goku would have easily slapped the attack away, as it doesn't even bother him, away from the Earth, of course, as it went into the sky and exploded. Now, Nappa tries to hit Goku, but Goku's way too fast, blocking each attack, and he's kind of giving him the Jiren treatment, as he's so fast that it looks like he's just standing there, and Nappa's just punching through him. That's how fast he is. So Nappa's getting more angry. He would then try firing another attack from his arm, but Goku would easily block it with a finger, and he would then deliver a powerful punch to Nappa, Raccoon style, an elbow right to his stomach. This would, I think, make Nappa fall over, as he was pretty much done for. Vegeta was shocked that Goku handled Nappa like that and defeated him with a single strike, but he is not Nappa. As Vegeta would then tap his scouter, Goku would begin powering up as Vegeta also did his own. Vegeta's power level went up to 18,000, but Vegeta was shocked to see his power level shoot past 30,000 as it exploded his scouter. Now, I think the one person who would have heard this was Frieza. I think Frieza would be listening in, and his men, hearing that Vegeta was shocked as he's never seen a Saiyan have this much energy. Could he be a Super Saiyan? Now, would this necessarily scare Frieza? I think so, because Frieza was scared of the Saiyans, but Beerus was actually scared, and he actually told Frieza to kill him, which is kind of ironic, as Frieza was also scared of the Super Saiyan 2, because Beerus was. I think that Frieza might be a little interested to go to Earth and check out and see what's going on about all this. So Frieza would tell his men to make a course to Earth because he wants to go there and meet the Saiyan that's so powerful. Maybe he can recruit him, as if Vegeta can't beat him, then he's useless. Then he needs another puppet to teach. So Frieza would then send his men all the way over there, as long with himself and the Ginyu Force, just to be safe. As Frieza was shooting past 30,000 before it went off, they could be stronger than the Ginyu Force, but not Captain Ginyu. That's the second in command. But Frieza was now making his way over there, but it would take him a couple of months to around a year to arrive. So this is when Goku would then easily overpower Vegeta. It was horrifically bad. Vegeta's punches did nothing to him. He tried punching Goku in the chest. It pretty much broke his arm. Vegeta had no chance against Goku. Goku was just way too strong. Now, I think Goku would then knock out Vegeta, and I think Vegeta would then awaken in the hospital, alongside with Nappa. Nappa was alive. Goku did not kill him, he just knocked him out unconscious. And I think that Goku would have spared Nappa since he was already knocked out and defeated. He would give them one chance. As Goku was standing there, Vegeta was shocked as he lost that easily. He was actually ready to get up and try fighting Goku again, but Goku would tell him that if you try fighting me like that again, I'm going to kill you this time. As Vegeta would then shut his mouth as he's scared of Goku. Goku must be a Super Saiyan or something. There's no way that he's a Saiyan can be that powerful. As Nappa was the most angry, but I think after Nappa calmed down and he's not in fighting mode, he's not bloodlusted, I think Nappa realizes when Vegeta tells him to stop, we can't win. And if you try fighting him, we'll just die. So I think Vegeta would then tell Goku, fine, we'll get off this planet, and we won't come back. So I think Vegeta will swallow his pride, as he's not going to kill himself over all this. He knows that he can't win against Goku, which is a big shot to his pride. Nappa would want to stay and try and fight, but I think it wouldn't work out too well. I think Nappa was humbled pretty well, especially if Vegeta is terrified. what's Nappa gonna do? So they would then all head to their space pods, and Vegeta would be shocked when the communications would have turned on, as it was Frieza's men, Zarbon and Dodoria. They were talking about how they'll be arriving to Earth within a few weeks' time. This would shock Vegeta as he tells Kakarot to wait. Frieza is on his way here. And Goku states, who's Frieza? After Vegeta explains the whole situation, he decides to stay on Earth. And he demands that Kakarot tells him how to become a Super Saiyan. And Goku doesn't even know what that is. Well, maybe. Goku says that he does know one, but he calls it a Super Saiyan God. And Vegeta was shocked. A god? What, you're a god? And Goku says, I'll show you. Goku would then transform into his Super Saiyan God mode, shocking everybody, but they can't even sense his power, but they can feel the pressure of it. And Goku states that, well, he does training with his master, and he's grown a lot stronger since then. Vegeta wants to meet this master, and Goku states, oh, I'm sorry, they're not allowed to accept anybody else except me. But I can always ask. And I think when Goku does go there, I think Vegeta will stay at Capsule Corp. Same with Nappa. Now, would Vegeta kill Nappa? I think that Vegeta would be over it by this point, and I think Nappa, I believe, would be spared because Vegeta doesn't want to kill him because Goku said to not be attacking anybody or killing nobody, okay? If we're going to beat Frieza, we all need to work together, all right? Once after Frieza's gone, you can take your ship and then leave the planet if you want. I don't care. And I think Vegeta and Nappa would agree to that. So I think Vegeta would just kill Nappa afterwards if he feels like it, but we know how the plot goes for Dragon Ball. They change their mind as time goes on. So Nappa and Vegeta would then stay at Capsule Corp, and I think around this time, would there be gravity room? Well, I'm going to say for plot reasons, yes, because Vegeta would have talked about it, how light the Earth's gravity is. I think they would have given Bulma's father an idea to make a gravity machine to increase gravity. So it's kind of like a weighted clothing. So Vegeta and Nappa would actually start training in gravity room, growing in strength. And I think since it's such a big help, I think Bulma would have made another one, as it's a portable one to where people like Piccolo, Gohan, and the other Z fighters, they could jump in there as well and start training to get stronger. Now, as for Goku would have then arrived at Grand Priest, and he would have asked him if he could maybe bring a friend up here to train. The Grand Priest would strictly say no, as while Goku is the one exception, unfortunately, any other mortals cannot be brought here, and he apologizes to Goku for that, but he was firm about it. Goku would then explain, okay, that's fine, maybe I can ask Zeno, and the Grand Priest states, no, you will not ask Zeno. If you do, this person you're trying to bring is Vegeta, isn't it? And he says, how do you know? He says, I know everything. And he states, I've been watching you the whole time. He states that Vegeta's too hot-headed and he's too dangerous to bring around here. You know that if Zeno is upsetted, then Zeno can destroy everything. Do you want your world and whole universe to be destroyed? Goku says, nah, maybe okay, you know what, never mind. I never said that. What are we talking about? And Goku states, well, I need a few weeks of training just to be sure I can fight Frieza. And the Grand Priest would state, at your current power, you could easily beat Frieza and not even be worried about it. But Goku just wants to be double sure. And the Grand Priest states, you're not needed here for now. You can beat Frieza on your own with no issue. Even in your base mortal power, you can beat him. Now imagine your God energy. He explains that it might be better for you to go around teaching what you've learned, but keep some hidden, as it's not good for enemies to know what you do. But maybe try teaching and helping your friends to grow stronger. I think Goku would agree to this. So Goku would head back, and they would have around a month to begin their training. Goku would begin training in gravity since he's not done it before. The only difference is he did training between dimensions with the Grand Priest to learn how to use God Ki, but that wasn't weighted. He just couldn't move without his Ki leaking. So that's a bit of a different story. But I think Goku would adapt to gravity a lot faster because he's so strong. And I think he'd probably train with Vegeta and Nappa and his other Z fighters. They would probably all train together. The Earthlings were struggling to keep up, but they would go out their own pace, having their own gravity room, aka like the portable spaceship, to train. And I would honestly say that they could probably get up to times 10 to times probably 30 gravity. And Piccolo was training with the Z fighters and mostly the Saiyans. I think Gohan would train with them. So it was Goku, Vegeta, Nappa, Gohan, Piccolo, all training by themselves, while Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, Chaozu, and I would say, not Roshi because he's too old, but they would all, four of them would train on their own as well, as they can't keep up with the Saiyans and them are too fast. They're just humans after all, but they are growing stronger. Now, after the few weeks of training, they were then all ready to take down Frieza. Now, once when Frieza does arrive, with his men and even the Ginyu Force, the Earthlings are more than ready. Now, how strong are they? Well, since they've had over a month to train in terms of gravity, power levels will go like this. Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha are relatively similar in power. Tien is still the strongest, but it's like 1,000 power level difference, so it's not a massive change between the three. But their power level is at around 25 to 30,000. Somebody like Chaozu is at around 5 to 10,000, so he's roughly on dual dose power. And somebody like Piccolo, so next we will have Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Nappa. As for Nappa and Vegeta, Nappa will have a power level, in my opinion, of around 45,000. Vegeta would have a power level of around 80 to 90,000. As is similar to Goku's power level, you could even say 100,000, just somewhere even, but Vegeta has gotten a lot stronger. Piccolo would have a power level of, I would say, around similar to Nappa's, but he'll be around 50,000 or so. And Gohan will have a power level of around 20 to 25,000. Now, as for Goku, Goku's power level is unreadable, but he is stronger than Frieza, so that's a good power scaling for you. Once when you get past the Frieza arc, power levels don't matter anymore, so Goku's just power scaling wise, he is above Frieza. So, once when they do all awry, Frieza's men was easily overpowered by the Z fighters, and by the other Saiyans as well. They would have no chance. The Ginyu Force would be the biggest challenge for them, as Goku knows that he'll fight Frieza on his own, as Frieza was watching, floating on his little chair above the ship. Now, I think they would then split up, as Nappa would fight somebody like Recoome, actually being pretty much even to Recoome, but Recoome was too arrogant. Nappa was actually a bit more level-headed. With Goku's help, I think he would not be as bloodlusted. And with Piccolo teaming up, I think Piccolo would either attack Birder, which would be a really cool fight, and I think he would also have Jace, who would probably, I would probably say fight Vegeta first, and Vegeta would blitz him pretty easily and defeat him. Then we would have Vegeta fighting Captain Ginyu. This is when I think that Ginyu would then swap bodies with Vegeta, and Goku would then fight Vegeta's Ginyu body and overpower him. And when Ginyu tries doing the body switch on Goku, Vegeta would then jump in and swap his body back, and then kill Captain Ginyu, who was weakened because he hurt himself on purpose to hinder Vegeta. So Captain Ginyu was defeated. And Nappa, it was a very tough battle, but I think Nappa's more skilled now than Recoome. Recoome's a bit more childish, so he would have been defeated by Nappa. Now, since all that was done and they were defeated, now here comes Frieza. But now here's a major problem though, Vegeta does have one option. To even survive against Frieza, they are going to turn into great apes. Vegeta would then launch a fake moon to the air, and thus Vegeta and Nappa would then turn into great apes. Now Gohan still does have his tail, but Piccolo would just tell Gohan to not look at the moon, and he'll be okay. So Gohan would not be looking at the moon, so he stays focused, because Gohan can't control it. Now Nappa's power level as a great ape is around 450,000, Vegeta's around 1 million as a great ape, and this would make Frieza pretty angry, but Goku would fight Frieza on his own first, as he does want to battle Frieza. And they're on the Rocky Wasteland, so they're away from all plants and life, so Goku cannot hold back, and he can easily beat Frieza and be done with it. Now Frieza would then go into his second form and begin attacking Goku. Now Goku was in his base form, and he was easily overpowering Frieza, pretty much breaking one of his horns as he held it to punch him, knocking him away. Frieza would then go into his final form and continue battling Goku, going up to 80% power. Frieza was terrified because Goku hasn't even left base form yet, and he was overpowering Frieza still. As Vegeta and Nappa were watching, in case Goku does need help, they would distract them because Goku does have sensu beans, so in case Goku's severely wounded, he can take it. Same with the other Z fighters. Now, this is when Goku would then tell Frieza to go into his full power. He knows that he has it. Frieza would then go 100%, and he would begin attacking Goku. I think by this point, I think that he is a pretty even match for Goku, but Goku does have more abilities and skill than Frieza does. But Goku was still getting damaged pretty good. He was still fighting Frieza, but Goku would then get serious. As we know how Goku's fight style is, he doesn't go all out at the beginning. He would then turn into a Super Saiyan God after Frieza fired a death ball right at Goku, who blocked it, but it did do some scratches on him, and it tore the top of his G off, but Goku would just rip the rest of it off and smirk at Frieza, telling him that he'll go full power too. He would then shrink a little bit in pounds of muscle mass, and he would then turn into a Super Saiyan God. Now when Frieza rushes in to try and hit him, if you guys remember the scene when Morrow tried doing that to Goku, he shattered his hand on Goku's chest. That's what would happen to Frieza. Frieza was shocked as his hand was destroyed. Goku, with a single gut punch, would then launch Frieza back through several pillars. Frieza was getting desperate as he was planning on destroying the planet. But before he even could, Goku would arrive, kicking him across the face, sending Frieza through more pillars of rocks, launching them all down as his face would grind across the ground, leaving his face all scratched up. As Frieza would try doing whatever he can against Goku, hitting with his tail, Goku was just too strong. He would block it, and he would then finish this off. He would give Frieza one chance to get off the planet. Frieza, I don't think would agree. He would even ask Goku for mercy. But I think when Goku would turn his back, Frieza would then fire a ki blast, but Goku's prepared. Remember, Goku's been trained by the Grand Priest. He doesn't really have that bad ability to where whenever he drops his guard, whenever, and then he gets shot, Vegeta does the same thing, if you guys remember. But they're both different. But Goku's trained this with the Grand Priest, so he doesn't have this ability. Whenever he does drop his guard, he gets hurt. This doesn't happen to Goku. So when Frieza does try hitting Goku from the back and hitting him with a ki blast or a death beam, Goku, even if it hit him, it wouldn't have hurt him. But Goku would have turned around and then slapped it away, as he then gave Frieza that I told you one chance and you blew it. Goku would then fly in, and he would then fire a blast point blank range at Frieza, and he would completely incinerate him, killing him. So now that Frieza was defeated, peace was brought to the universe. What about the Saiyans? What are they going to do? And Goku then tells them that you can stay on Earth if you want. It's a place of peace, and you don't have to be told by Frieza no more if you don't want to. Now, Vegeta does vow that he will beat Kakarot one day in a match. Same with Nappa, as he wants to beat Vegeta one day. Nappa and Vegeta would then go their own paths, and I think Nappa would probably stay at Capsule Corp with Vegeta, but he would just have his own area, and Bulma would probably keep him as like a guard or something, or whatever. Bulma and Vegeta's relationship is already growing by that point. Nappa doesn't really have nobody. He's a lot older. He doesn't really need nobody. Nappa has himself. And then Goku would then continue on his training, getting stronger, as there was peace for a period of time. Trunks from the future timeline would arrive at the same location as he did before and wait for Goku to arrive. But the one difference here is Goku never shows up. Now Trunks is confused as he swore he remembers that Goku would be here on time. Has time really changed that much? So Goku would then take a beeline and go right for Goku's home, where he would find Goku there doing his usual training with Chi-Chi and Gohan. Now Trunks was confused, but maybe he brushes it off. Maybe Goku got here a little earlier, or maybe he arrived a little bit later than he thought. He doesn't know, but he doesn't have time. So he would then meet up with Goku and ask to speak with him privately. This is when Trunks would still have the same conversation with Goku as he did in the original, explaining all about the androids. This version of Trunks is from the original future timeline. There's no Ultra timeline with this version of Trunks. He's not really any different. And the reason why is because that would just make the whole story another 20 to 30 minutes longer. Maybe I will do that for a future what if, maybe just for Trunks. Like down below if you guys want to see that, and comment down below if you guys want to see that for Trunks. Maybe we'll give Trunks some love. But Trunks was confused when Goku would explain about Frieza arrived on Earth. What confused Trunks is he swore he remembers his mother talking about them going to planet Namek to stop Frieza, but man, the timeline must be really wonky. But he brushes it aside, as he does know that he's in the right year. He even asks Goku. Trunks knows that there's no one else around, as he knows. Piccolo's near the area, as he was heading towards her to train with Gohan. Piccolo, having his advanced ears, he's able to hear from very long distances, and he's hearing everything that's going on. So he's just kind of staying in the background for now, hiding his power, waiting to see what's happening. Trunks would then transform into a Super Saiyan, surprising Goku, as he's never actually seen a transformation like that. He didn't even know something like that was possible. Trunks was shocked that Goku didn't know what a Super Saiyan was, and Goku states, well, I do know of another form called Super Saiyan God. That's what he likes to call it, as he trains with this guy called the Grand Priest, and, well, it uses God Ki, which is stronger than Normal Ki, but he decides to just call it God Ki. So Goku then transforms into a Super Saiyan God, shocking Trunks, but he can't sense his power level, but he can definitely feel the pressure of his energy. Trunks wants to test this out, so Trunks would then use his sword, and he would use full strength at hitting Goku. Goku would just block it with a finger, and Trunks was just amazed by Goku's power. Trunks would then explain all about the heart virus and explain when the androids are coming and what time and what date. Goku would then agree, and Trunks said that he will come back and help him if he needs to. But considering this godly power, he's never seen it like this before, he's not really concerned, but he said just to be careful anyway. So Goku would agree. So for the next 3 years, would Goku go train with the Grand Priest? That's an interesting question, because remember, the Grand Priest does offer to train Goku, and Goku does promise to go see Zeno'S. So if Goku has to go to Zeno'S world, he's going to be training. Goku would explain what's happening with the androids on Earth to the Grand Priest, which the Grand Priest is not worried about. Goku explains, what do you mean? Well, remember, the Grand Priest knows all, and the Grand Priest states that, well, this being, Dr. Gero, is making some powerful creations for sure, but he cannot grasp the divine energy of godhood. So even if these androids do appear, they will not have your level of strength. I'm not concerned. And besides, if you're not going to be here for the next couple of years on Earth so they can study and watch you, then how are they going to grow stronger? And Goku thinks that actually makes a lot of sense. So Goku would spend the next couple of years training with the Grand Priest. I would say he'd probably spend around 2.5 years training with the Grand Priest, and for the remainder of the 6 months, he would then come back and make sure that Piccolo and Gohan are caught up. So Goku is he's absolutely broken by this point, as he's already passed the level of Super Saiyan God, and it's gotten to the point to where he can just stay in the form for as long as he wants. So that's what Goku's been doing. The Grand Priest has been training Goku, explaining to him that in order to utilize the power of a god, since you are mortal, you need to stay in this Super Saiyan God form for as long as you can. So for the 2.5 years, Goku was practically almost always in Super Saiyan God unless he went to sleep. So Goku was always in the form, and he's mastered the power by this point, being able to heal himself if he's badly wounded, and more. Goku, I think by this point, would have unlocked Super Saiyan Blue. Because remember, Whis was already teaching him about it, and the Grand Priest would have taught him not to leak his ki every time he uses his power. Goku does note about Super Saiyan to the Grand Priest, which the Grand Priest has an idea. He explains that with the power of a Super Saiyan Blue, you could be able to evolve this version of Super Saiyan God if you wish. Now, the Grand Priest does notice some things about Goku, with Goku's mental state and how he handles things. What I mean is Goku could be a candidate to learn Ultra Instinct. Now, obviously, it's very early, but the Grand Priest can see some signs. Remember, the Grand Priest was surprised when Goku first used Ultra Instinct because it was never thought possible. But there's actually been signs of Goku having that mental fortitude to be able to do it. We saw it when he trained with Popo, dodging without thinking. That was a scene if you want to look it up. And Goku's also shown other signs that Ultra Instinct was just a slow progress. And I think if the Grand Priest did raise Goku and was around since he was a baby, I think the Grand Priest would notice that and maybe think it's possible. That would be an awesome achievement if a mortal could achieve the level of a god. That would be incredible. And is it possible? It's a pretty fun little task for the Grand Priest to maybe see. And Zeno really likes the idea, but they keep it secret, as Goku should not know about it. He needs to unlock it on his own. But he is adding some implements of training here and there for Ultra Instinct, such as self-movement, which Goku's actually getting a good hang of, meaning that Goku's reflexes are much faster than the original, on top of the fact of how fast he is. So yeah, Goku's very OP. Now, with Goku now unlocking Super Saiyan Blue, I think unlocking Super Saiyan is a cakewalk. Because of how strong he is, his S cells are ridiculous. So by this point, he's definitely unlocked Super Saiyan with ease. And mixing it with Super Saiyan God, you got Super Saiyan Blue, or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, but Super Saiyan Blue for short. For the next 6 months, Goku would then begin training with Piccolo and Gohan, as Gohan and Piccolo have gotten a lot stronger. Even though Goku was not around for the 2.5 years, since Goku was so powerful, they would quickly start to catch up to their original strength. So now that the 3 years were now up, they would have waited and the androids would have arrived. It was still Dr. Gero and Android 19. While these androids are a little bit stronger because Goku is stronger, you have to remember that technology can only go so far. And I know Dragon Ball is not the best thing to compare technology on since they're hyper advanced. Remember, Dr. Gero cannot harness God Ki. That's just not a thing. God Ki is something that's way out of his league. I apologize, but that just is what it is. So he has no, and also too, Cell may have Goku's DNA, but he doesn't have God Ki. Goku was not born with it, so he doesn't have it. That's just not going to work. And even if he took DNA from Goku while he was a Super Saiyan God, he won't be able to harness the power. It would just explode his computers who won't be able to handle it. So while the androids are a little bit stronger, in terms of power scaling, I would say probably Dr. Gero and Android 19 are pretty decently stronger. I would say they're near the levels of Super Saiyan Vegeta, which Super Saiyan Vegeta easily overpowered them with ease. So they're near his level. They would give more of a tough fight for sure. So it does show that they are a little bit stronger. But the androids that were more advanced were, of course, 17 and 18, and mainly Cell. They have gotten decently stronger, but against Goku, we all know what would happen. With Vegeta now arriving as well, he does have Super Saiyan, being cocky as ever. This is when I think that Goku would start to feel the implications of the heart virus, just like before. Now, people might say that Goku can turn into a Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan God, he can heal himself, but I think for what purposes, I don't think that would work. He can heal wounds, but I don't think that God Ki would heal diseases that would hit him. He's still a mortal being.
Or maybe it could. We don't have any concrete evidence that it actually could. We do know that it did heal Goku from a lethal attack by Beerus, who stabbed his chest in the anime. It could be possible, but we don't know. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to go down that route since we don't have any concrete evidence or feats of that happening. But Goku does have a heart medicine, so he's fine. And if he did die, the Grand Priest would just bring him right back instantly. Remember, angels can do this. He's the father of all the angels. He can definitely do it. And Yema's not going to complain about that, so he's fine. And trust me, if Zeno saw a big problem out of it, and he knew that Goku was going to die, he would just tell Goku, so Goku knows, and Goku would just be prepared. The Grand Priest would just be there for Goku. He can instantly teleport there, revive Goku, and Goku's back to life. No problem. Remember, it's the Grand Priest and Zeno. They can see the future, so they already know what's going to happen. They know that Goku's going to survive it, and he's going to be stronger because of that. They already know what's going to happen after that, so they're not worried about it. So after this was done, now with Goku then succumbing to the heart virus, he can feel it. He would not fight Dr. Gero and Android 19. He would then dip out and leave. The heart virus was starting to succumb over him. Now, Goku being in Super Saiyan God, I will say, is slowing the effects of the heart virus a little bit, but it will still hit him. He can feel it, but this time he's not blinded. Remember, Super Saiyan does make you a bit more irrational. Goku did not master Super Saiyan by this point, but Super Saiyan God makes him even more calm and tranquil than he ever was. So Goku can see a little bit more clearly. Goku even stated this himself while he was in Master Super Saiyan, learning how to use it in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber with Gohan. That Super Saiyan does make you a bit more irrational, makes you more wild to thinking. You don't notice certain things. I think that Goku being in that state, he didn't really focus on the heart virus. He was too busy fighting the Android 19. But I think Goku as a god, he's more calm and tranquil. He would notice that something's wrong and he would leave. He is confident though, knowing that Vegeta and the others can take down the androids, and he'll beat this heart virus real quick and he'll be back to help them. Now, Goku would then take his leave, as now with Vegeta there, Vegeta would turn Super Saiyan and he would still be Android 19. Now, this is when Dr. Gero would then run off, Android 20, he would run off on his own, and he would have a little scuffle with Piccolo like the original, and Piccolo would roughly hold his own, pretty much the same. I would say that Piccolo, remember Goku wasn't there for 2.5 years, and with Goku there for 6 months though, that was enough to make them catch up, because Goku was so strong. So I think that Piccolo would definitely be able to catch up, and he would be able to slightly overpower Android 19, or Dr. Gero. Overpowering Dr. Gero, Dr. Gero would still be able to escape, since it can't sense his energy. He would then activate 17 and 18. Now, Vegeta was fine with this, as remember how cocky he was. He wasn't really worried about the androids. Now with Dr. Gero now reviving both androids, they would kill Dr. Gero and revive Android 16. Android 16, of course, will be slightly stronger. I would say he's a little bit, I'd say he's in between first form and second form Cell. So he is stronger than first form Cell, for sure. But he's not as strong as second form. He is kind of close, actually, but not too far away. Now, this is when Vegeta would then battle Android 18, just like the original, but he was overpowered. Android 18 and 17 are stronger than the original by a decent margin. They're actually near first form Cell's level of power. They're really, really close to it. So they would have overpowered Vegeta. Even though Vegeta might have had more motivation to train and get stronger, even alongside Nappa, which I don't think Nappa would have Super Saiyan yet, as remember Nappa would just stay at Capsule Corp. Vegeta would have left on his own, and he would have unlocked it. But even so, I think that Nappa would be able to hold his own okay, but he would get overpowered pretty easily. Nappa's definitely near the millions in terms of power level, but he's not going to be too much help, unfortunately. The androids are too strong. And Vegeta would get both his arms broken. They gave him a sensu beam, which he was fine. But Vegeta was broken because of that, because of how strong the androids were, having his pride completely shot. Now, Vegeta, by this point, after seeing the horrendous defeat from the androids, I think Vegeta would then go off on his own like the original, as they explained the Room of Spirit and Time, if you remember. Goku already explained about it. So while Goku was recovering and slowly getting better with the heart virus due to Chi-Chi and them helping him, the same events for the Cell and Android arc would happen the same, with the androids running around doing their thing. Piccolo would then go fuse with Kami like he originally did, and he would get strong enough to go battle Android 17. Now with battling Android 17 though, Cell would still arrive. This is Cell from the future timeline, who killed Trunks, went back to this timeline to observe the androids, which is a really confusing topic. But Cell, when he fought Piccolo, Piccolo was able to hold his own. Remember, Piccolo is roughly near the same. Cell's a little bit stronger, but I think Piccolo can still hold his own. Now, Cell would still use Solar Flare and escape from Piccolo. Piccolo would still fight Android 17. It'll be a pretty even battle still, but I think 17 would have the slight edge on Piccolo, but it's up for debate in reality. Piccolo would still hold his own very well, though. Now, with Android 17, though, they were both weakened. Cell would appear. Cell would appear like the original overpowered Piccolo, and he would absorb Android 17. Tien would nearly sacrifice himself, though, and he would use the Tri-Beam, or Neo Tri-Beam, hitting second form Cell, overpowering him as Android 18 and 16 would then disappear off through the other islands to hide. Now, this is when Vegeta would arrive with Trunks after his training, and Vegeta was more ready than ever. Vegeta would then turn into an Ascended Super Saiyan, and this version of Vegeta, in my opinion, is stronger. But how's that possible? Well, Vegeta knows how strong Kakarot is. He knows how strong these androids are. He got beat up worse than he did in the original against 18. He didn't even hit her or anything. He was that humiliated. He can sense how strong Cell is. I feel like when Trunks was inside the Room of Spirit and Time, he could have gotten a lot stronger. But he didn't, because he was selfish and he didn't spar with Trunks. But I think he's more acceptable to spar with Trunks to get stronger. Not because he cares about his son, which he does, but he doesn't show it, or because he wants to train with somebody. Vegeta will do anything in his power to get stronger. If that means to find a master or to get a cheat, Vegeta would to surpass Kakarot. We know this. He will do everything he can to surpass Kakarot in his own way. This means sparring with Trunks. This also makes Trunks a little bit stronger too because he sparred with Vegeta. But Vegeta's still arrogant. Once when he turns into an Ascended Super Saiyan, he would attack Cell and overpower him just like the original. But Vegeta was very arrogant and he was very cocky. Now by this point though, Goku would start to awaken from the heart virus because he was able to get it earlier. The heart virus flared in the original, thus making it more lethal to Goku, and they could have caught it late. So that's why it took him longer to recover. I think by this point, Goku would have awakened, and he was getting ready to get up to go fight Cell on his own. Goku knew he could beat Cell easily, as he can sense second form Cell's power. He does sense Vegeta though, as his power is wavering and bouncing back and forth weirdly. He would then feel Cell's power skyrocket massively. This is because Vegeta makes one of the dumbest decisions in Dragon Ball, and he allows Cell to absorb Android 18. Now, Android 16 did try to attack Cell, but he was overpowered easily. Trunks would then try to fly in, but fortunately, it was too late. Cell was now in his perfect form, more powerful than ever. Yes, this version of Cell is much stronger than the original. He would have easily overpowered Vegeta, toying with him. Vegeta even hit him with his final flash, as Cell didn't even try blocking it. Cell would still miss one of his arms, but he would instantly heal, getting stronger because of that. As you know, every time Cell's severely wounded and heals, he does get stronger. Cell would blitz Vegeta, ease overpowering him. This is when Trunks would then power up to grade 3, buffing up massively in size. I think that Trunks here would then fly in full speed at Cell, but then Trunks would then shrink just to Ascended mode, and he would then hit Cell, surprising him. Trunks here is not a fool, as then, when Cell tries to punch Trunks, Trunks would then dodge, buff up massively, going to grade 3, delivering a powerful uppercut, as then he shrunk back to normal. Cell was confused on what he's doing. Trunks then explains that while him and his father were training together, he learned that the grade 3 of Super Saiyan, the really buff version, has major drawbacks. It drains a lot of stamina, and it makes you very slow and lumbering, but it makes you at your physical strongest, making you buff in power. So what he does is he shrinks down to Ascended mode, making him about just as fast as he originally is, and he bulks up massively in size when he goes in for a blow to hit him with his full strength, but he shrinks right back so he can have the speed to throw the other one. Cell actually really likes that. That's a bravo technique there. That's really smart. He wants Trunks to keep doing it because it's fun. So Trunks would then continue doing it, fighting Cell, holding off a lot better than he did before. It's because he still has his speed. Remember, Trunks before did not have no speed, and the stamina draining was bad. But now, he's using his Ascended form or even base Super Saiyan to throw a punch at Cell at his full speed. Then he bulks up in a single... As soon as he hits Cell, he bulks up in size, so his punch does the most damage possible. That's a genius move. We saw Vegeta do this when he fought Goku Black, jumping in and out of Blue and Super Saiyan God, and back and forth. Jumping out of Blue and God to utilize the speed but not drain the stamina. Trunks would do something similar as he learned from Vegeta. That was one of the perks. But unfortunately, it would not be enough as Cell was still toying with Trunks. But he did have more fun messing with Trunks though. He would then blitz Trunks and overpower him. But before he could finish the job, he was thinking about a tournament. Goku would then arrive as Cell felt it. Goku was flying full speed as he got there much faster. Saving Trunks' life, Cell didn't even see him coming. Goku would then stand there as Cell was excited. Now this is what he's waiting for. Goku is right here in front of him. This is exactly what he wanted. Goku would then outright challenge Cell to a match right now. Goku would then tell Cell that let's fly away from here, getting into a safe location. Cell would then agree, and they would then fly off away from the islands and more to a main, large area, far away from people and animals, and any kind of life. It was similar near the location of the other Cell games, but it's a bit more isolated. As the Z fighters would then fly towards this area to watch from far away, Cell was excited. He would tell Goku that he's been waiting for this moment to challenge him. He was even thinking about starting up the Cell games in 11 days. But Goku explains, I don't need it. I can take you on right now. Goku was a little confident, but he knew how strong Cell is. But he's not a fool. He knows that Cell is holding back. But he doesn't sense any god energy from Cell, which is a good sign. The Grand Priest was right. He's pretty sure he shouldn't be doubting his master, but he has to be sure. Cell would then power up to his full strength, and Cell, I think, would begin his battle with Goku. Goku can hold his own in base form. Goku would then burst into Super Saiyan, and he would fight Cell pretty evenly. This would then make Cell be forced to use pretty much his full power, bulking up a little bit in size, as he would then fight Goku. Cell was shocked to see how strong Goku was, but he knew that Goku was holding something back. Goku would then explain, well, you catch on pretty quick. Goku would then turn into a Super Saiyan God, and I think he would easily start to overpower Cell. Cell would pretty much get blitzed pretty easily. Cell would have no chance against this version of Goku. But once when Goku would then continue hitting Cell, Goku notices something. Cell begins to mutate. Cell's armor turns red and black and green. Any crack or damage that he made would make Cell stronger. This was not Cell absorbing God Ki. Now with Cell looking more like Cell Max color scheme, Cell's even stronger. Cell would then explain that you're a fool. True, the doctor can never figure out what kind of energy you had, and I can't even sense it. But he would then work on me with his bioengineering, making me better. Every time that I take a big hit or any kind of damage, I only get stronger and I evolve and mutate. The more damage you do to me, the stronger I get. So Cell's only growing in strength. Now Goku knows that he needs to end this now, so he would continue attacking Cell, easily overpowering him. Cell's power level is steadily rising, and it would rise and rise and rise, surpassing Majin Vegeta's level of power, then Majin Buu, and it was getting higher and higher. Now Goku was not worried at all, since he was far above this. Goku knows that he needs to finish this now before Cell does something dangerous. As Cell's beginning to lose his mind because he's getting hurt so much, Cell might try to blow himself up or something crazy. So, Goku would then put both of his hands together, and he would then challenge Cell. Cell would then fire his own Solar Kamehameha, and Cell would then change it. Why don't I destroy the whole galaxy instead? I'm going to call it Galaxy Kamehameha. Firing it right at Goku, Goku would then clash with his own, and the two would then go at it, as it seemed like it was equal at first, but Goku was way stronger. Just to be sure that Cell was dead, and this is far overkill, Goku would then utilize the full power as Goku was holding back massively. Goku's red aura would then flare as he would then use his full power, hitting Cell easily, and completely disintegrating the bio-android. Although Cell did get much stronger, around Majin Buu levels of strength, it's absolutely minuscule to Goku. Now that Cell was defeated, Goku would then go see his friends, as they were shocked, and they said, "How much power did you use, buddy? That Cell seemed really strong." Goku would then laugh and say, "Oh, I was only using around 5% of my actual power in that form, or even less, but, then afterwards I went full power and I beat him." And Vegeta was furious about this, as Vegeta did ask Goku multiple times to take him to his master, but the Grand Priest was very firm to tell Goku that only he is allowed Grand Zeno commands so. So, Goku can't argue with it. And Vegeta was mad about it, but he's just going to continue training to beat Goku on his own. He doesn't need some god form or whatever it is to beat him. He'll beat him the traditional Saiyan way. So with all that done, there was then 7 years of peace. Now, during these 7 years, of course, the story changed massively. With Nappa and everyone else around, Nappa definitely mellows out a little bit more, and Nappa still lives at Capsule Corp, as Nappa's more like head of security around there, as Nappa's still getting stronger. I think during the 7 years, of course, Nappa did unlock Super Saiyan. It does seem plausible. Now, Vegeta has unlocked Super Saiyan 2, and we'll continue on the next one, and I think he did unlock Super Saiyan 3. We saw that Vegeta in Dragon Ball Daima was able to use Super Saiyan 3. Why can't he use it a couple years earlier? Just because of how strong Vegeta's determination is. With Goku being so much stronger, Vegeta's going to continue pushing his body past its limits, and I think that would work. With Nappa also being a really good training partner, Vegeta would only get stronger. Now, as for Kid Trunks, Kid Trunks has gotten pretty decently stronger than his original, because Vegeta's training more intensely and Trunks is trying to keep up, and also having his Uncle Nappa around to continue fighting. Now, what about Goku's side of the family? Well, as for Gohan, we didn't really hear too much of him. Remember, Gohan was the big hero of the Cell arc, as Gohan unlocked Super Saiyan 2 and defeated Cell with Goku's help, and Vegeta. But Gohan never unlocked Super Saiyan 2, and they never went to the Room of Spirit in Time. I do think that during the 7 years, Gohan would not slack off on his training. Why? Because the biggest change is Goku's alive. Goku never unlocked Super Saiyan 3, and he didn't really need it anyway. He's a God Key anyway. He doesn't need Super Saiyan 3. He knew that Vegeta unlocked something, but he doesn't know. Vegeta's hiding it until they have their next match. Gohan, though? Gohan is absurdly strong. Gohan would have Super Saiyan 1 and 2, in my opinion, because he has Goku around to train him. And I think Goku would unlock Super Saiyan 2 as well during the 7 years. I think it's very plausible. Now, what about Goten? As for Goten, Goten has probably one of the most busted potentials. I would definitely say top 3 to 4 are the most powerful potentials other than Broly and Frieza out of the whole show. Goten only trained with Chi-Chi for a couple of times, and he was able to keep up with Trunks, who they're equal in terms to Final Form Frieza. You even have Goten that trained with Gohan a little bit, and he was able to hold his own to Trunks, who trained in Gravity with Vegeta a lot. So Goten is insanely busted. With Goten having Goku around, Goku would train Goten for a couple of years, making Goten massively powerful. In terms of power scaling, it's so hard to determine where Goten will be at. Goten originally was around Frieza's level of power. In my opinion, I think that in terms of base form, Goten is around first form Cell level of power. When he transforms, he's roughly around second form Cell, maybe a little bit higher, a little bit less, but it's so hard to gauge him because he's still a boy. He's still a kid. He's only 7. But that is absurdly strong for his age, being way stronger than Gohan ever was at his age. Remember, Chi-Chi's still going to be all over Goten and Gohan about being normal boys and going to school, but Goten never really fought that far. Gohan still does his studying, but he does keep his training up. As we know, Gohan can train a little bit and never get rusty. If he trains more than that, he gets massive power boosts, especially in Super. Now, Goku and them would then begin enjoying peace until the World Martial Arts Tournament. As Mr. Satan is still the massive hero of the whole world, they would then still have their many matches. Goten would beat Trunks in the junior division. Vegeta would still be ready to fight Goku as he wants his revenge. Nappa would probably enter. He'd probably fight some other people, but he knows he's not really going to beat the other guys. But he'd do his best, though. Now, this is when the Supreme Kai would still appear, and Goku can instantly tell who he is. Why? Because he can sense his energy, and he knows what the Kai looks like. Because he's seen him before. Goku has met Whis during the years that he's met with the Grand Priest and Zeno around one time, once or twice. And he has met the Supreme Kai a few times as well when he comes for reports. And the Supreme Kai instantly noticed Goku and he went right over him to discuss some things with him about Majin Buu, asking him for help, which Goku would agree. This would mean that Videl would still meet Gohan just like before, and she would still be defeated by Spopovich, and they would allow Gohan's energy to be taken so they can follow it to Babidi. That's the only way. So it would be Goku, Supreme Kai, Gohan, and Vegeta. That's all they need to go there, as they are way more than enough. And I think Nappa would follow along personally, and that's way more than enough what they need. Piccolo and the others would just stay there for now. So once when they do arrive, Vegeta and the others would pretty much follow the same exact scenes as the original, with Vegeta overpowering Pui Pui, and Goku would defeat Yakon just by powering up a little bit. The Gaki was too much. Babidi was shocked that somebody had so much power, but he can't even really sense it. Dabura can sense that it was divine. He can smell it. And this mortal is not that mortal. There's something different about him. Now, once when they would then swap places, Babidi would panic, and we know that in the original, he tries taking over Vegeta's mind. Vegeta would not allow it, because he is a family man, and also Goku's here. The only reason why Vegeta actually took it is because he knew that he would never fight Kakarot again until he dies, because they never thought that Goku was going to come back after the 24 hours. That's the only reason why. He fought Kakarot multiple times, he can fight him whenever he wants, so he's not going to allow it. Nappa would be attacked as well, but I think Nappa would overpower it too, because Nappa's a changed man. He's not going to be held down in chains no more, like how he was with Frieza and them. Never again. So now that Babidi's running out of options, he would then tell Dabura to go attack them, and he tries to put all Gohan's energy in Buu's chamber, but it'll take time. Now, once when Dabura does so, Goku and the others would absolutely annihilate him. Gohan would probably one-shot him right to the chest and kill him. So there's no spitting or anything, so Krillin and Piccolo are good. Unfortunately for Babidi, they don't have enough time to get all the energy out, and it's not enough to revive Majin Buu. They need a little bit more. Because remember, Gohan did not power up to full strength, he was holding back. So, they would then kill Babidi, and the Supreme Kai would then take Blue's egg. He would then offer Gohan to leave with him and begin training with him because of his incredible potential if he wants to. Now, I think Vegeta would instantly jump on this opportunity as well, telling him that he wants to join as well. And I think Goku would even vouch for Vegeta and them, and I think the Supreme Kai would allow it. Why? Because I think Goku would also state, but Zeno might be a bit upset if I tell him that you decline my friend's offer, as he's doing a big solid for him, so the Supreme Kai would then say fine. They would then take Vegeta and Gohan to their world, the Kai world, to begin training. Now this does mean that Gohan would pull out the Z-Sword, as Vegeta is not much of a sword guy. They would still break it over Ketchin, and the Elder Kai would still appear. Now the Elder Kai would unlock their potentials, as while Vegeta's not the purest guy, Gohan would even vouch for him, stating, I trust him, and it's my responsibility if he does act out. Gohan, even in Mystic, with Vegeta having Mystic, Gohan would overpower him easily. So since Majin Buu was defeated, they will now keep Majin Buu hidden and seal it away. Goku was a bit let down as he really wanted to fight Majin Buu, but he understands that it could be a threat. He doesn't want to cause unnecessary deaths if not needed. Lord Beerus has now awoken from his slumber, as he was having dreams of a Super Saiyan God, a being who can challenge him and give him a true fight. Beerus would have spoken to the Oracle Fish about it, and he would have figured his dream out. He would have then also spoken to Whis, as Whis would explain that there's a whole bunch of Saiyans on Earth. And then, Whis notes on how there's a special Saiyan who was even trained by someone even more important than him, his father. This would then shock Beerus, as how is this possible? A mortal being trained by the Grand Priest? As Whis does know about Goku, he's met him a few times before, when Goku was on Zeno'S world. Beerus would then ask, well, where's this Saiyan at? And Whis explains that he's on planet Earth currently. Goku would not have missed Bulma's birthday party. Everybody was even there. Beerus would still arrive, and Beerus was actually a little hesitant on Goku, because he knows how valuable Goku is. He knows that Goku is Zeno's best friend, which so if Goku dies, Zeno could destroy them all. He also knows that the Grand Priest is training him, so it must be for something very important. But he does want to fight him and see how strong Goku actually is. Well, Goku was excited to see Lord Beerus. He's heard of tales about him and how strong he is, and he's never met him before, but he has met his master Whis. But he was happy to see Whis again. Beerus would first see all the delicious food, and he wants to try it out first. So, Beerus would then try out all the food, and the events of Majin Buu making him angry wouldn't happen. And in the anime, Goten and Trunks pretty much angered him by knocking the pudding out of his hand. That wouldn't happen either. Goku would warn everybody on how dangerous Beerus actually is and to not make him angry. So, Goku would then challenge Beerus, as they would be far away from everybody. Whis would then make a massive sphere of a shield around them in case they don't destroy everything around them. As then Goku would then attack Beerus in base form, charging in. Now Beerus was blocking with his hand. He does admit how strong Goku is in his base form. It's incredible. Goku in his base form by this point is already surpassing levels of when he was a Super Saiyan God originally, easily. But Goku was absurdly OP. Now, Beerus wants to see his full strength. He wants to hear about the mortal that became a god. So, Goku would then transform into Super Saiyan, knocking Beerus around a little bit, but Beerus is still holding back. Goku would then go into Super Saiyan God. This is when he gives Beerus a much better fight than he did in the original, really pushing each other back and forth. But Beerus is not using his full strength yet. Beerus is still holding back. So, Goku would then power up into Super Saiyan Blue. This would give Beerus a real fight, as now Goku was able to keep up with Beerus pretty well. This would then give Beerus a show him the honor of Beerus showing off his full strength, which was too much for Goku to handle. Goku was getting overpowered initially, as whatever he did against Beerus, it just wouldn't work. Beerus was just far too powerful. Now Goku would try everything in the book that he can, but he's never encountered someone like Beerus before. Remember, Goku's fights have been pretty easy for him, because since he's trained so much with the Grand Priest, he's gotten so powerful that no one really poses a challenge. Except the Grand Priest and Beerus, this is the first time he's been overpowered this badly. But this only excites Goku, as he's not done evolving yet. Goku's still holding back a lot of power. Now that Beerus has showed his full strength, this is what Goku wanted, so Goku can gauge himself and see where he keeps up with Beerus. Beerus thinks that's a pretty intelligent strategy that you got, but no matter what you try, it's not going to work. Beerus would then see Goku turn back to base form, which Beerus was surprised, but Whis notices that he's doing something. As now, this is when we would have Goku, then stay dead calm. He would then look down and wait for Beerus to strike him, as when Beerus does, Goku would then catch his fist. Goku's eyes would open as he was in Ultra Instinct. Now, Goku was able to learn Ultra Instinct by accident in the Tourney of Power, and it only took him about an hour to master it. So imagine if he had the past 30 plus years of his life learning how to do this. So yeah, Goku's insanely OP. He's known how to use Ultra Instinct for a long time, he just never needed a reason to use it. Because why would he? Every opponent is too easy. And he's learned how to use the full potential of Ultra Instinct, which is insanely OP. Beerus would have no chance. Even if he did use his full power, or even a Hakaishin mode getting even stronger, Goku would use Ultra Instinct and overpower him. Goku could even go into Mastered Ultra Instinct or Perfected Ultra Instinct if you want. Goku has it mastered. He can tap into it whenever he wants, any form he wants. He can easily overpower Beerus, and Beerus would have no chance against Goku. Goku would overpower Beerus, but then he would stop as Whis would then end the match, stating that was a splendid job. And somebody else was there too. The Grand Priest and Zeno was there. As Beerus would freak out, even though he was a little injured, he would then run and bow instantly, as he would command all the other mortals to do so out of respect. Goku, of course, wasn't even bothered by it, as Goku was excited to see them there. Zeno wanted to come by and watch Goku have his fun fight against Beerus. It was really cool. And the Grand Priest wanted to see how his student was doing. And he was amazed with how well Goku did. And he's definitely one of the strongest beings in the entire multiverse now. And the Grand Priest has an offer for Goku, but we'll explain it after the party. Enjoy yourself. And Goku would even offer Zeno and the Grand Priest to come down and hang out if they want, which they actually do. As a lot of the mortal people were excited to actually meet the Grand Priest, and he was a little weirded off because he shouldn't really be here. But Zeno's orders. Zeno wanted to go down there and meet everybody. Which, it's a little bit terrifying that you have the being that can destroy all the 12 universes instantly playing around with Goten and Trunks as they run around each other. It's hilarious. As Beerus was about to have a heart attack and roll over. Even the Supreme Kai, who would have teleported there, would have a heart attack himself. But I think after a little bit, Zeno would then take his leave, asking Goku to come back to his place as soon as he's done, so they can discuss a business deal, which Goku agrees. They would then leave, as Beerus would then take his leave as well, as he needs another nap. That really scared him. Not to mention he just had a big fight, but the Zeno really drained him mentally. So Beerus would then take his leave. This, of course, changes the story a little bit, because we know Goku never unlocked Super Saiyan God here, originally, with the ritual. And you could have had Vegeta had a time to shine, but in reality, Beerus was really interested in nobody else. He would only be interested in somebody who the Grand Priest is trained. It's not rocket science to see that Beerus wanted to fight Goku first, and mainly first. But I still think that Whis would still show up to Earth to hang out with Bulma. This is when I think that Vegeta would beg Beerus, and mainly Whis, to bring him to his world. And would Gohan go? That's up for debate. I don't think he would because of Pan and Videl. And remember, they find out that Videl was pregnant, so Gohan would not go. You could even have somebody like Nappa go with Vegeta. So when you have somebody like Nappa and Vegeta, since Nappa feels left behind, Vegeta and Nappa have more of like a rival thing going now, where Vegeta knows he can't catch up to Kakarot. He will try to reach for number 1, but he can't keep up with that. But he is going to get stronger his own way, and Nappa can help him. So I think that Whis would then take Vegeta and Nappa up to Beerus' world to begin their training. Now remember, Nappa's a little bit behind. Vegeta's a little bit stronger than he is, but I think Nappa would start to catch up. Now, we all know that Nappa is in his 60s plus by this point, even possibly in his 70s, but it doesn't matter because Saiyans don't start aging until they're about 80-something, so Nappa's okay. So Nappa would continue training with Vegeta, doing the chores and everything, and I think having Whis is a perfect teacher because Nappa has calmed down a lot over the years. He's not as hot-headed as he was, but he still sometimes gets a little angry sometimes, and he gets over cocky. But Whis will help them handle that. But I think that over the next 2+ years, they would continue their training, learning how to use God Ki, learning how to access Super Saiyan God, and I feel like Nappa would definitely have Super Saiyan by this point easily, maybe even Super Saiyan 2, and they would have unlocked Super Saiyan Blue. Which means that Nappa, just for fun, I wanted to give Nappa like a beard, as I know that Nappa originally had like his mustache, but just for fun, just to make Nappa grow as a character in general, just to look different. He doesn't have any hair, of course, he never had much anyway. He would grow a full-on beard, and it wouldn't be massive, but a decent size, like mountain beard. So when Nappa turns Super Saiyan Blue, you can tell it's a blue beard, just to make him stand out. And imagine if he went Super Saiyan 3. Oh my goodness, his beard will be like 12 feet long. God, that's definitely meme-worthy. Now, would Frieza still give himself wished back to life? Would he still have the revenge thing? I think so. So when they use the Dragon Balls to wish Frieza back to life, that I think will all go the same. Now, what about Goku? Well, Goku's not in that universe right now. When he met with Zeno and the Grand Prix, they offered Goku to travel around to grow stronger, to meet the other people of different universes, and the button that Goku was given is connected to Goku only, so no one else can use it. Goku can use this to travel across different universes too. Any universe that he wishes, he can go to. Zeno kind of gives it to Goku as a thank you for all the good stuff that he's done for Zeno and been really nice to him. They've been really good friends, so it's almost like a thank you gift. So Goku would be really excited, and he knows that Earth is taken care of if he is gone. So Goku would then go to Universe 6, which is a copy of the other universes. Goku would then go to planet Sadala, where I think Champa and Vados would be at, hearing that a mortal is now traveling across the different universes. And I think Champa would then meet Goku, and Goku would infuriate him, but he knows that if Goku beat Beerus, he doesn't have much of a chance. Champa's way weaker than Beerus is, and Vados does find him interesting because he was trained by her father. But yeah, it's pretty cool for her. She don't care. Now Goku would then go to planet Sadala, where he would meet all the different Saiyans. He would meet the Saiyan King, who reminds him a lot of Vegeta, but he seems like a more of a noble version of Vegeta. And they would even have a fight, which he is very powerful. Goku admits that he is almost as strong as Cell, which shows how strong it is. Maybe too strong, but no one knows who he is. It's a what if, who cares? And I think that it's really powerful for him, considering how strong Kaba and them were too. They were in the Buu Saga levels of power, so imagine the king of all the Saiyans. He's at least Cell Saga level, at least. Goku was impressed by his power, thinking how strong he is. They don't even know what Super Saiyan is, so Goku would begin teaching them. Now, people like Caulifla and Kaba and Kale and the King and the others would all be interested in Goku because he's from a different universe, but I guess they're copies of each other. They're also the strongest Saiyan that they've ever seen. He's pretty much like a god. So Goku would then teach them all how to turn Super Saiyan, and they would all be able to transform pretty much easily the first time, because they're so mutated and their SLs are so much higher that they can access it. They just don't know how. And it's the horrendous tingle in my back theory that they have, but they are different than the normal Saiyans, so they would all be able to transform into a Super Saiyan. Same with Kaba, Caulifla. Kale's a little bit of a different story. When she tries transforming, it doesn't work. But the King was able to even turn Super Saiyan himself, and he was in the Buu Saga levels of strength. Goku was impressed. Now back to the normal Earth of Universe 7. Frieza would still have himself revived. He would then spend the next 3 months of training, thus unlocking his golden Frieza form, and now he's immensely strong. Now, if you remember, Frieza originally only used the color of a golden because he lost to a Super Saiyan and to mock it, but in reality, what other form would there really be? You could have like a ruby Frieza because he's red, or a sapphire, or you could have a blue Frieza. It's whatever you wish, but just for what it purposes, I'm gonna just say that it's golden Frieza, just because it's just easier to say it, and also we already have pictures of golden Frieza, not of any other color. So Frieza will still pick the golden color as it fits his royalty of gold and riches. So Frieza will still pick the form, and he would then head to Earth. Vegeta and Nappa were training, doing their normal thing, until they would then see Gohan fighting Frieza through Whis' staff. Now Gohan's still in Mystic, and Gohan's absurdly powerful. Gohan has not slouched on his training at all. He's only grown stronger since then. He's only grown much stronger since then. Now we know that Gohan has a bad history of slacking off on his training. He's not the best at it. But Gohan having Goku around and other Saiyans, he knows that he needs to keep his training up, and Piccolo would be on him even more due to Goku begging Piccolo to do so. Goku would then tell Piccolo that he is leaving for the universes and to keep Gohan training as hard as he can, so when the time does come and he's not around, that Gohan can take care of himself, and this is a prime example. Now, once when Nappa and Vegeta do arrive, first off, Vegeta's going first. Vegeta wants to fight Frieza head on first, and Vegeta would kind of have the same match that Goku did against Frieza in base form, keeping up with Frieza and overpowering him in his final form. Now, Frieza would then showcase his golden form, Vegeta would then showcase Super Saiyan Blue, and the fight would begin. Now, Vegeta is holding his own against Frieza. This version of Vegeta is a little bit stronger than the original, because he has more motivation. And I definitely think that Vegeta will be able to hold his own against Frieza very well and keep up with him. Vegeta notices that Frieza is only getting weaker, because Frieza's not used to the form. Now, Vegeta's not going to sit here and waste time like how Goku did. He's going to kill Frieza. Nappa's a bit mad because he doesn't want to get a couple licks in on Frieza and beat him up, but he's not going to get in his way because he knows how important this is for Vegeta to finish Frieza himself. So he stays out of the way, and if Vegeta needs help, Nappa will enter in and help him. So Vegeta would then fire a massive Final Flash attack on Frieza, and it would completely incinerate the Emperor. Unfortunately, Frieza had no chance. We know that Vegeta dropped his guard initially because Frieza was already weakened and he was getting too arrogant. This version of Vegeta, I believe, is a bit more serious, and he fought Frieza from the start, so he knows how dangerous Frieza is. He's not going to kind of torture him, he's just going to end him off. Now that Frieza was killed, there would then be peace on Earth. Now, I still think that Champa will still challenge Beerus to the Universe 6 versus Universe 7. I think they'll go pretty much the same, except Goku's not there. Champa will agree to do it as long as Goku's not fighting, because it's unfair. And I think Beerus, would he be cocky enough to do so? I think yes. I think that Beerus would allow so, and there wouldn't be no Monaka, so it would just be Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Nappa, and the others. So in reality, that's all they really need for the team. Against, of course, Batamo, Magetta, Kaba, Hit. That's all they really need too. So it's the 4 against 4 in total. But, you know, that's all they really need. Oh, and of course Frost, don't forget about that guy, but he's irrelevant. Now, Frost would still begin his cheating, and I think he would knock out Vegeta, since Vegeta was blitzing through everybody. And they would then find out that Frost was cheating. I think Piccolo would then step in, Vegeta would then step in again, telling him, or maybe you can even have Nappa step in, and Nappa says, let me fight him. So I think Nappa would then step in for dishonoring Vegeta and disrespecting his ally. Nappa would then turn Super Saiyan and completely annihilate him, knocking him out of the ring. This is when I think that since Gohan was, of course he was kicked out before, we're going to get into Gohan in just a minute, and why Gohan becomes a fan favorite is because when Vegeta goes to fight Hit, or Nappa would fight Magetta next, and Nappa would hold his own, he would use his own mouth beam attack, overpowering Magetta. He would then say something mean to him, and which would then defeat him. Then they would just throw them right off. But Hit is the biggest problem. Vegeta would still have his match against Kaba, and Kaba would explain about how he knows about Goku, and that Goku met him, and Kaba already knew about Super Saiyan. You could even have Vegeta pushing him in anger to turn into a Super Saiyan 2. So that could change a few things, and making Kaba even stronger than he originally was. But now, of course, going forward, Kaba would still be defeated. Of course, he's not going to beat Vegeta. Then you would have Nappa, who was already going through everybody. Nappa would then fight Hit first. Nappa would then showcase Super Saiyan Blue, and fight Hit. Now, once when they do battle each other, Hit was too powerful for Nappa. Hit's ability to use time skip is just too much. So what are they going to do? Well, Nappa would have been knocked out, and then Vegeta now sees it. Gohan was watching too. And of course we have Piccolo on the side, but Piccolo stepped out against Frost. Now that Hit's the last line of defense, they would then have Vegeta go to fight Hit. And I think that Vegeta would do much better against Hit than he originally did, because Vegeta's not using 1/3 of his strength. As you remember last time, the why he lost, he tapped in out of blue, which only gave him 1/3 of his strength, and he wasn't used to seeing Hit's time skip. Now he is. He's starting to figure it out. So Vegeta would then continue battling Hit, fighting him, until I think Hit would then begin to evolve. And then he would begin overpowering Vegeta, beating him, and even though Vegeta was able to keep up with it, even land maybe a hit on him, as he figured out his time skip, I don't think it was enough. I think Hit would then knock out Vegeta and beat him, but it was a pretty good fight. Now it's Gohan's turn. Gohan would then go into Mystic, and Gohan, even though he's been training, he's around the same strength as Blue Vegeta. So Gohan is absurdly powerful. Now Gohan would of course be able to keep up with Hit. Hit was still self-learning, so he's getting stronger and stronger. Gohan is getting overwhelmed. Piccolo would then tell Gohan to stop holding back and tap into that power. You have it in you, let it out. And Piccolo would then yell at Gohan, telling him what would happen if he's not strong enough to protect even beating a guy during a tournament. Pan, Videl, they would all die and it'd be his fault. Piccolo was getting in Gohan's head, getting him angry. As Gohan was being pushed past his limit, Gohan would then snap. His eyes would then swirl red as he would then turn into his beast form. Remember, Gohan has not slacked off his training at all for this entire time of the show. And especially now that Gohan has Mystic and he's continuing to train, with Piccolo getting in his head and him being pushed by Hit, and I think Hit would understand what Piccolo is doing. You could even have Hit threatening Pan and Videl, threatening to assassinate them when he's done, thus making Gohan snap. As Hit wanted Goku to continue powering up. He wanted and now he wants to see Gohan's true power so he can learn from it and get stronger. But they were not ready for it. Even Beerus was shocked to see how strong Gohan actually was. In his beast form, Gohan is immensely strong. He's far surpassed Vegeta and all of them, easily. That's not even up for debate. He has far surpassed everybody else, other than Goku, of course. He would be able to keep up and battle Beerus head on, pretty well. Now, with Gohan now having beast form, within a single kick, he would kick Hit right in the stomach, destroying the entire arena, except for a small piece that Gohan be standing on, as Hit would then catch himself on a small little piece of rubble on the ring floor. But he's not knocked out, he's standing on it. So, Hit would then tell Gohan that kick was incredible and nearly killed him. Gohan says, "You're wide open." Hit would then use his death attacks. He would try trapping Gohan within the time sphere, trapping him, as then they would then go full speed towards each other, as now Gohan would then smirk and fly towards Hit full speed. Then you would have Hit would then fly full speed towards him using his full power of his time skip, hitting him full force. But then once when the smoke cleared, Hit was defeated easily. That kick did nothing to him, didn't even damage him at all. Gohan was just far too powerful. There was no way that he was going to beat Gohan. Gohan's just too strong. Hit had no chance against him. So, now that Hit was defeated, Gohan was declared the winner. It means that Beerus wins the Dragon Balls, and of course, cutting forward, Beerus was still with Champa his world back. So where is Goku in all this? Goku's still traveling around. He even fought Bergamo and the other people too, and the other universes. He's traveling around everywhere, meeting the other gods of destruction. He's even fought a few of them, and he's done really well. Goku's loving it. The possibilities are endless for him to learn and get stronger, and that's his whole point in life, is to grow in strength. Now, as we know about the Goku Black Arc, as for the Goku Black Arc, I think Goku would have met Gowasu and Zamasu, and I think some changes are going to occur. Because if they do know that Goku was Zeno's best friend, Zamasu would know originally that he was going to take over Goku's body, as we know. He was going to use the Super Dragon Balls, take Goku's body, it'd be perfect. He's stronger than the Gods of Destruction, and he was trained by the Grand Priest. It's perfect. But he knows that that's Zeno's best friend, and Zeno's watching him. What I think what would happen here is Zeno would then tell the Grand Priest what's going to happen. Remember, Zeno remembers all, he knows all, and he sees all. He knows Goku's future. He keeps a solid eye on Goku to make sure that his friend is alive, because that's his best friend. They've been friends since Goku was a baby, so Zeno's really close to him. Goku's like family to him. Zeno's very childish mentally, so Zeno believes that Goku's almost like a big brother, or a little brother, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, the fact if Goku dies, and it was someone else's fault, Zeno would just destroy everything in anger. And the Grand Priest has come to even like Goku himself, because Goku's almost like kind of like a son in a way to him. One of his children that he's raised since he was young, in his own way. So Zeno would then tell the Grand Priest all about what this Kai is going to be doing. He can see it, he's foreseen him taking Goku's body using the Dragon Balls. So the Grand Priest notices about this, and he says, okay, I believe that the Grand Priest would then find the Super Dragon Balls and take them, and then sealing them away so no one can use them unless the Grand Priest says so. I also think that the Grand Priest would not tell Goku first, because he doesn't want Goku to freak out or do anything. I think that the Grand Priest would then meet up with Gowasu, then meet up with Goku. Then I think by that point, the Grand Priest would explain what Zamasu is going to do in front of Gowasu and Goku, surprising them, and states that now Zeno believes that this will happen. We want to let you know now. And Gowasu was shocked to hear this. He didn't know that Zamasu had this evil side. He had no idea. As now, Goku was shocked to hear this, and he says, well, what do we do? Well, how do we stop him? And the Grand Priest says, oh, I've already ended his plans. Originally, he was going to see how strong you are and hate mortals, and that was the final straw that broke the camel's back, and then he would have used the Super Dragon Balls to swap minds with you. And that's not going to happen, because now I've taken the Dragon Balls myself, and I've hidden them in a location that no one can access except me and the Grand Zeno himself. So he has no chance. And Goku says, oh, well, that's a relief. What are we going to do about him? And Grand Priest states that, well, I will bring him to Zeno myself, as Zeno wants to punish him. They would then find Zamasu, who would try to attack Goku and Gowasu, but of course, the Grand Priest would then stop him with a single neck chop, defeating him. He would then wrap him up in a sphere of energy, and they would then head to Zeno's world, where Zeno would easily erase Zamasu for his crimes and what he was going to do. And they had a chance. Zamasu had a chance, but he decided to attack Gowasu and Goku. So that was his chance to change. So now that Zamasu was completely erased, the events of the future timeline wouldn't happen, because Zamasu would not swap bodies with Goku, thus becoming Goku Black. This also means that Goku Black would not go to the other timeline and then meet up with that version of Zamasu, thus making an evil Zamasu and then merge Zamasu. That would not happen. So Trunks would continue enjoying his life with Bulma and Mai, and they would continue rebuilding their world. That would pretty much do the same, so not too much really happened. And also, too, they can't do time travel either. But they could, but it is banished. So Goku knows better. So, since that happened, Zeno was considering erasing the universe, but I think Goku would then put in a good word, saying, no, hold on. It was just Zamasu, right? That Zamasu guy was the only bad one, and Gowasu didn't see it, but Gowasu now knows that he'll find another Kai, right? And I think Zeno would then agree and say, okay, if that's what you think, I'll listen to you. And so Gowasu was spared by Goku, thank goodness. Because Zeno was really wanting to erase that universe, as he doesn't want nobody hurting Goku that badly. So they then let it go. Now that the Goku Black arc would never happen, what about the Tournament of Power? Well, the Tournament of Power could still happen. You could have Goku wanting to fight the people of the other universes, but in reality, he doesn't really need to ask Zeno to do that, to set up a tournament. Remember, Goku can travel to any universe that he wants. He can fight any of them anytime that he wants, so why would he need to set up a whole tournament to do that? That doesn't make any sense. And Goku would also note that if he does do something like that, Zeno would just erase those universes, so I don't think Goku would. So the Tournament of Power wouldn't really happen. This means that none of the gods would all hate Goku. I think they're interested in Goku because how strong he is, but after meeting him, Goku doesn't really seem like a terrible guy, so they would just let it go. So no, the Tournament of Power would not happen. Now, what about the Broly movie? Well, we know that Frieza is completely erased, so it would technically be impossible for Paragus and Broly to be sent to Earth and to go fight Vegeta and them. Now, the only way that this could even be possible for Broly to be found is if, number one, Vegeta or Nappa use the Dragon Balls to search the universe for any more Saiyans. Number two, the more realistic version would be if Chi-Lai and Lemmo were still working for the Frieza Force. Remember, the Frieza Force was in shambles, but it was still being ruled by other people in politics. So you could have them, or you could even have them just head there anyway, accidentally crashing, and then meeting Paragus and Broly. They would then hear about how Frieza went to Earth originally, and Frieza went to Earth again recently, and he was killed by a bunch of Saiyans. Paragus wants to know where Earth is. They travel around the universe, they figure out where Frieza went, they find out the coordinates where Earth is, they head there. That could very well be possible. They do have a ship now. So Paragus' mission is to kill Vegeta. And once when they land on Earth, he doesn't know that Vegeta's for sure there, but he would try to ask. And I think this is when Whis would explain that Bulma would tell them that there were these two Saiyans that just landed on Earth. So Vegeta and Nappa would then head there. Once when they arrive, they would then see Paragus and Broly. Paragus would initially see Vegeta, and he would then tell him for what he did, what his father did. Now, Frieza did kind of play into it. Frieza was manipulating Paragus, making them more angry, and etc., all about it. But I still think that Paragus would still sick Broly on Vegeta, and they would have their match. But I think that with Broly, Vegeta all being a little bit stronger, he wouldn't be able to match Broly's strength. Vegeta knows to lead them somewhere else. So with him and Nappa teaming up, they would then fly off to go to like the Rocky Wasteland to fight Broly. Gohan sees what's going on, so Gohan goes to fight Broly as well. Vegeta and Nappa were getting overpowered because even Broly in his Akari form was absurdly strong. Now we know that it took Paragus dying for Broly to snap. What I think will happen here is when Chi-Lai took the remote to have Broly shot caller, and she broke it, that's why Broly snapped, and Broly was going all out. They would then try and help Broly any way they can, but they can't get in the way. One of Broly's ki blasts would then hit Paragus, and it would kill him. Or severely wound him, looks like he's dead. And Broly would then snap, turning Super Saiyan, thinking that he killed his father. Now that Broly was even more powered up, Gohan would finally arrive to see Nappa and Vegeta getting absolutely obliterated in their Super Saiyan Blue forms, and there's no fusion, so what are they going to do? And Goku's not even here. Gohan and Mystic would then, he's stronger than Vegeta by this point, he's keeping his training up, he has surpassed Vegeta again, he would start fighting Broly, but he was still getting overpowered. Piccolo would then tell Gohan, who by the way, Piccolo's here as well, Piccolo did make the wish to Shenron, thus becoming Orange Piccolo, getting even stronger. And as Orange Piccolo, he's able to hold his own against Broly pretty evenly, but Broly will go into his full power mode, and that's when he would start overpowering Piccolo. Even in Piccolo's giant form, he was getting blitzed. Now Gohan seeing Piccolo getting attacked and overwhelmed, this would then give him the anger to snap into beast form once again, thus fighting Broly. And I think that Gohan would overpower Broly, similar to how Gogeta did, and defeat him, firing a full power Kamehameha, hitting Broly, nearly killing the Saiyan, but he was knocked out and defeated. And I think that when Broly wakes up a few moments later, that he was severely wounded, he would start to get angry again until Chi-Lai would then jump in front of Broly and hug him, stopping him, telling him to stop fighting and to calm down. I think Broly would then calm down, and he would then see that his father was alive, and I think Broly and them would then get treated, and I think Paragus would realize that revenge is not what they needed no more, and I think Paragus and Broly, they would then begin to stay on Earth to enjoy their time there, and I think Paragus would then kind of like let go of what happened between Vegeta and them, as no matter what, they can't beat. He's not even his son, and he realized what he put his son Broly through, with Chi-Lai chewing him up about it. So the events of Broly would kind of go similar, and that would pretty much be what happened. So instead of them staying on Vappa, Broly and them are on Earth. Now, as for the Morrow arc, even if it did happen, would they be able to beat Morrow? That's up for debate, because even if there was Beast Gohan, who's absurdly strong, would he be able to beat Morrow? It is potentially possible. I think that Gohan would push Morrow very well. I think up until Goku would then arrive. Remember, Goku's not gone forever. Goku would then arrive next to the Grand Priest, and the Grand Priest would say, oh, you have this, Goku. And he would then take his leave. As there's no Beerus around, so Morrow would not getting stronger. When Morrow tries to attack Goku, remember Goku here's gotten much stronger because of this. Remember, he's been traveling, fighting people. He's even fought Jiren in Universe 11 and defeated him. Once when Goku goes Ultra Instinct, it's game over. Morrow just cannot beat him. Even if Morrow fused with that other android, it was absolutely annihilation. Goku would not hesitate to kill Morrow because he knows how dangerous he is. So, Goku would then use the Hakai ability and completely erase Morrow. So Goku would then save the day, but he was proud with how far Gohan has gone. Gohan was fighting on equal terms with Morrow and holding his own very well. And even Piccolo has gotten stronger than everybody else. Now Goku would then spend the next few months there enjoying his time with his friends and family, and he's taking a break from the traveling. Now, as for Granola and Gas, well, if Gas ever did make the wish, we know that he was going after Frieza, but even if he made the wish to become the most powerful being in the entire universe, in reality, once when he meets all the other characters like Piccolo, Gohan, Vegeta, and Nappa and Goku, who were all absurdly strong. By the way, Vegeta by this point would have unlocked Ultra Ego, and I think Nappa would probably unlock it too, since it does fit their nature. So Nappa and Vegeta both have Ultra Ego, thus showing how powerful they really are. I think that Gas and Granola, if they did make their wishes, they would start aging really fast. Especially if Goku was there. If Goku was there and they fought them, if you remember, that's what happened with Black Frieza when he attacked them. A single strike went through them and they aged and died because Frieza was so strong. That's what would happen with Goku, if Goku would even fight them. So they would have been easily overpowered and defeated. Now, I know we are talking about Dragon Ball Daima, which Dragon Ball Daima takes place right before the events of Battle of the Gods. Now, realistically, if they were turned into children, it wouldn't have mattered. Goku would be like GT Goku, and he would completely annihilate everybody in his way. No demon or Majins would have the chance of beating Goku in them. Same with even Vegeta and the others. Since remember, Gohan never slacked off training either. So, but I'm not going to dive into Dragon Ball Daima. It's not fully finished yet, so I'm not going to dive into it. But yeah, Dragon Ball Daima will get blitzed over. There's not really point talking about it, as they were turned to kids for a reason because they were so strong. But yep, that is it for this. What if you guys? Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down below. And I really do appreciate all the support. You guys are the absolute best. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.